All right, so yes, today's the day. The patch is now live. It is absolutely huge. We're going to go over all the patch notes. There are new unique items and legendary aspects in the game right now that you can experience and find. Also, we're going to be talking about how the world tiers are changing up here, how you gain experience, level up, that has changed. And hell tides are also seeing changes. We're seeing new things happening with all the classes as well. Now, this is a huge, massive patch. So I'm going to have to split this video into two parts. So yes, it's going to be part one. Look out for part two later on after this video releases. Let's get into this right now. But let's go ahead and go over the brand new unique and legendary aspects and items. Let's check it out right here. So new unique items and legendary aspects. It says new unique items and legendary aspects have been discovered in Sanctuary. Use them to enhance your characters in the eternal or seasonal realm. Now these unique items can be obtained from World Tier 4. And the legendary aspects can be obtained from any world tier. So that's right. Remember, you can start looking for these right now, but they will also be available with your Season 1 character that you create. Now, we have 6 unique items. First and foremost, we have the Bavarian Spear of Lycander. It's an uber unique staff. Hopefully I pronounced that right. It's world tier 4. So you gain a random shrine effect for 10 to 20 seconds after killing an elite enemy. Can only occur once every 30 seconds. And we have developers notes here. It says, Bavarian Spear of Lycander is an extremely rare drop. We wish you luck in recovering it from the armies of the burning hells. And for the Barbarian, we have Azur's Wrath, which is a unique sword. And it says, lucky hit, your core skills have up to a 20% chance to freeze enemies for 3 seconds and deal 0.75 to 1.5 cold damage to them. Well, that's going to be cool to mess around with my Barbarian. Now, the Druid says this for Flash Render. It says unique one-handed mace, debilitating roar and bloodhound deal 0.5 to 1 damage to nearby poisoned enemies. So that's pretty important to remember, the poison part right there. For Necromancer, we have this one right here, Lidless Wall. It's a unique shield. Now it says for lucky hit, while you have an active Bone Storm, hitting an enemy outside of a Bone Storm has up to a 5 to 25% chance to spawn an additional Bone Storm at their location. Each of your active sacrifice bonus increases the chance by 25%, and the total number of additional Bone Storms you can have by +1. Let me know if this is something you're going to go for, Necromancers, or not. Now for the Rogue, we have Eagle Horn, which is a unique bow. Penetrating shot has a 30 to 80% chance to fire an arrow that bounces off walls and scenery. Hitting enemies from behind with penetrating shot will make them vulnerable for 3 seconds. So Rogue taking advantage of that vulnerable ability right there. And for the Sorcerer, we have the Oculus, a unique wand. Gain the effect of the Teleport enchantment for free. When you evade using Teleport enchantment, you are taken to a random location. Now we have developers know about this one. It says the Azure Wrath and Flash Render unique items have flat damage effects which scale with power. For example, at 820 item power, Azur's Wrath deals between 3,359 through 6,718 damage, which is quite significant right there. So overall, some interesting stuff happening. And of course, you guys know I'm all about the Barbarian, so I cannot wait to hop in and try this out for myself. Hopefully I can find it really, really quickly. Now, we have this one right here as well. 7 legendary aspects have been added. We have Audacity, which is a utility aspect. It says, when there are at least 5 close enemies, stun them for 2 to 4 seconds. This can only occur once every 20 seconds. Now, Craven says, mobility aspect, you gain 20 to 40% increased movement speed when moving away from slowed or chilled enemies. Now, for the Barbarian, we have Ancestral Charge. It's an offensive aspect. Charge calls forth 4 Ancients who also charge, dealing 50 to 100% normal damage. Now, for the Druid, it says, Subterranean offensive aspect, which poison creepers active also cast landslide in a circle around you. Earth skills deal 10 to 20% increased damage to poison enemies. That one sounds cool. Now, Necromancer says Gore Quill's offensive aspect here says Blood Lance will consume blood orbs to also conjure lances from them. Each additional blood lance deals 20 to 50% of normal damage and prioritizes targeting unlanced enemies right there. Now, Rogue, it says Pestilent Points, offensive aspect again, says every third cast of Puncture is poison imbued with 100 to 150% of normal potency. But what about our sorcerer? Now it says Searing Ward's offensive aspect after spending 200 through 100 mana. I think it's supposed to be flipped around, but it says your next firewall is free to cast and will destroy incoming small missiles. So yeah, some pretty interesting stuff going on there. But yeah, let's get into the gameplay updates, because if we scroll down here, there's some changes to world tiers, some stuff going on with world tier 3. They've also updated chests. So let's start from the beginning, scroll up back up, and for general, it says Altar of Lilith unlocks are now count wide, map discoveries now count wide, whispers will no longer reward sigil dust. Overall loot quality has been significantly improved for silent chests. That's great to hear. The channel time for the leave dungeon ability has been increased from 3 to 5 seconds. We have generally reduced the tendency for mini monsters to move around in combat so that melee characters don't have to chase down their enemies as much. It's going to be cool for barbarians. See how everyone else feels about it. Added PS5 DualSense Edge wireless controller support for PC. Now World Tier says World Tier 2 has had the following bonuses added. Bonus gold increased from 15% to 20%. Monsters now drop 15% more items. And a developer note here, we like where World Tier 2 has landed overall, but are increasing its reward pace to better align with its difficulty. Now, level scaling inside dungeons in most overworld territories has been adjusted in World Tiers 3 and 4. Monsters will begin to trail behind the player in level after a certain point, up to a maximum of 5 levels behind. This change does not affect world bosses, Legion events, Field of Hatred, Helltide, or Nightmare dungeons. Now, developer note about that one, we want to give players a better sense of their power progression and mastery over the world while still challenging themselves, with structured in-game activity. Now, World Tier 3 examples say this: if the player's level is below 55, the monster's level is 55. If the player's level is 56 through 60, the monster's level is 55. And if the player's level is 61, the monster's level is going to be 56. And if the player's level is 62, the monster's level is 57, etc. From this point, the monsters will always be -5 until World Tier 3's max monster level of 70. Now, we have a World Tier 4 example as well. If the player's level is below 75, the monster's level is 75. And if the player is level 76 through 80, the monster level is going to be 75. And what about level 81? Well, the monster's level is going to be 76, and so on and so forth, as you can see right here. Now, it says if the player's level is 82, the monster's level is 77, etc. Now, from this point, the monsters will always be -5. Now, what about experience? Reward experience for completing whispers in World Tiers 3 and 4 has been significantly increased. So developers know we have observed that the experience bonus rewarded for killing higher level monsters escalates too fast when compared to the relative challenge involved. We still want to reward players for taking on this challenge by encouraging them to participate in power leveling together instead of one player killing enemies while another member of their party waits at the dungeon's entrance. Now, they are adjusting bonus experience rewards for killing monsters that are higher level than the player. Pre-season of the Malignant bonuses include this: 1 level higher is plus 15%, 2 levels higher is 20%, and 3+ levels higher is going to be plus 25%. Post-season of the Malignant says this: 1.5% bonus per level up to 10 levels. Example, plus 1 level is going to be 1.5%, plus 2 levels is that 3%, and plus 10 levels is going to be 15%. They're also adjusting experience rewards for monster level offsets for higher world tiers. Current world tier level offsets, this will be World Tier 2 up to +3, World Tier 3 up to +10, World Tier 4 up to +100, and they are changing this to World Tier 2 up to +3 unchanged. World Tier 3 is going to be up to +6, and World Tier 4, is going to be up to 10. Now, for example, if you are level 1, your friends bring you to World Tier 4 and leave you at the entrance of a dungeon. They start killing level 100 monsters. Now, prior to Season of the Malignant, you get level 100 monster experience times 1 plus 25%. And after the Season of the Malignant, you get level 11 monster experience times +1 plus the 15%, if I got that right. So, yeah, they are definitely adjusting that for sure. Now, for Helltides, they say we're looking to increase the danger in Helltide's risk-reward gameplay by making the monsters a bit more challenging and the Tortured Gift of Mysterious harder to open. Helltide monsters are now 3 levels higher than the player instead of 2. The Tortured Gift of Mysteries chest has had its cost increased to 250 cenders from 175, and all interactable objects in Helltide zones now have a small chance of dropping those cinders. And then there's some balance updates as well. They say, as our community continues to battle the burning hells, the builds emerging for new players have shocked and delighted us. We've chosen to focus Season of the Malignant's balance updates on clear itemization disparities over redesigns of class features. Now, this goes into classes. This is a lot. Expect me to do another video about this one, so please stay tuned for that one. But right now, I wanted to cover the uniques, the legendaries, and get those changes to world tiers, experience, all that to you right now. But look out for that next video about class updates here in just a moment. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time, very soon in fact. Take care.